What's up, guys? It is Jonathan with One Big Impact. This is an Atkins Induction video, and it's basically Atkins Induction phase completely 100% explained as far as what I can remember. First of all, I offer a few things that I sell, and I'm saying that because it helps me keep going with what I'm doing. First of all, t-shirts are $35. Be stronger than your excuses. And bracelets are $7 each or $10 for both. Meaning you get them in the mail, no extra charge for shipping, no extra charge for shipping on shirts, and that's what I do. So if you're also new here, please check us out on Facebook. Our group is called Healthy Living for a Healthy Life. I have successfully lost over 150 pounds. My weight loss is not current, like I go into different phases. So currently, I started at 350 pounds, 342 pounds or whatever, got down to 193, went back into some muscle building phases. My goals have changed a little bit. Just recently ran a marathon, and I guess you can see kind of what I look like, and you can see some of my older videos. I guess I don't look bad. I don't know. But some of my older videos, you can really tell a huge difference. Right now I sit at about 229, and I'm working on some strength stuff, going into like powerlifting meets, just to give you a little bit of backstory. So check us out on Facebook. Again, like I said, Facebook, our group is Healthy Living for a Healthy Life. I want to get all that stuff out of the way before I forget. So answer the questions, or usually we won't let you in. So really quick, I feel like it's been a long time since I did an Atkins explanation video, and probably learned I know a lot more now. I'm going to write one final thing to even it out at 10. I'm going to be as quick and as concise with this video to help understand how it works, okay? So basically, Atkins induction phase is very similar. Actually, it's pretty much the exact same as a keto diet. The only difference between the two, as far as what I know, is Atkins eventually adds back in carbs in the other phases. That's why I tend to like it more. I feel like by doing so, it's a lot more sustainable. Now, it's actually a really nice rainy day. You want to see? You want to see what's going on out there? Look. Can't really see. Yeah, you can. Oh yeah, girl. It's raining. So, that's that. And now my freaking camera is not going to focus, but I know a trick to make it focus. First thing is understanding that, see that? Pretty neat, huh? Understanding that by doing Atkins, you're putting your body into a position where the first thing is you have a total amount of 18 to 22 grams of carbohydrates. Now, I'm going to say right away, I am an online personal trainer now. I'm an in-person personal trainer. If you're not following me on Instagram, you can check out my training style, One Big Impact. The #1 Big Impact, same as my YouTube channel. And I offer online services for meal plans, etc. And I have really great deals because I was so mad at the industry for being so unbelievably expensive. That's why I actually got started doing this. 18 to 22 total carbohydrates per day. Now I'm going to go into the next thing, and I'm going to add some clarity to help understand these things as well. #2 is 12 to 15 grams of net carbs through vegetables. You're probably already confused. All right, so #3 is net carbs. Understanding net carbs, it's pretty simple actually. If you have 5, well, say you have 10, I hurt my hand deadlifting, by the way. If you have 10 total carbohydrates and you have 5 fiber, you have 5 net carbs. Now, it gets a little bit more confusing. That's just whole foods. You're not going to find things like xylitol, erythritol, monk fruit, artificial sweeteners, sugar alcohols. You're not going to find swerve, all those things in regular whole foods. So when it gets a little more confusing is when you're talking about like Atkins products or sugar-free snacks like Russell Stovers, maybe some Jellos, different things. So when you go into the sweet version of stuff, which I don't recommend in the beginning because you need to build a positive, good foundation. When you start adding those things in, you get that sweet taste, and then it really could add all kinds of problems. Trust me, I'm a sweets junkie. I don't really care about savory foods. Sweets are my jam, so I would be really careful. It's a very slippery slope when you do that. Now, just a further explanation on net carbs with sugar alcohols involved. Say you pick up a Quest bar and you're like, it says 4 net carbs on the front, but on the back it says like 20 carbs or something like that. Jonathan, I don't understand what the hell's going on. Again, excuse me, starting with 10 total net carbs, say you have 3 fiber and 2 sugar alcohols, you have 5 net carbs. So it's total carbs minus fiber minus sugar alcohols equals net carbs. Now, what that means with what the first 2 numbers, the number 1 and number 2 that I gave you, is 12 to 15 net carbohydrates through vegetables, meaning 12 to 15 grams of carbohydrates through veggies, and the extra to get you to 18 to 22 are going to be through your meats, your proteins, your dairies, your cheeses. Like eggs is going to have 0.6. Cheese is going to have, I think it's 0.6 or 0.7. I don't know why I'm brain farting on that. But different types of meat will have a very small amount, like sausages and different things will have a little small amount to get you up to that number. And you don't want to exceed that number. In all honesty, I know people that can stay in ketosis, which I'll talk about next, at 50 grams of net carbs. I think that's awesome. And I don't think that I think I've done it a couple times, but pretty realistically, like, my body doesn't work like that. So I would not venture to try on that. The idea is, if you have weight to lose, this is a really effective way to do it because you're limiting the amount of carbohydrates and sugar inside your body. Therefore, your body has no choice but to burn fat because that's its preferred fuel source. Now, going into number 4, fat, carbs, and protein and calories all matter. Okay, so let me see if I got... So, understanding number 5, fuel, carbs versus fat. First of all, calories are king. Okay, if you eat 5,000 calories a day and you need 1,500 calories to be able to lose weight, it doesn't matter if it's 5,000 calories of broccoli. First of all, that's going to really screw your stomach up. I would not recommend ever eating too much broccoli because gas city, it's all bad. But you're not going to lose weight if you're in a caloric surplus. It really doesn't matter. And chances are you don't have a problem eating too much broccoli. It's probably other foods that you're overindulging with. And something that you need to be very mindful of when you're on Atkins or keto or anything like that is understanding this could be... I am yawning so much. Understanding that cheeses are like the sugar of keto and Atkins, but cheese is extremely calorically dense. There is 9 grams of calories per 9 calories per gram of fat, and it's extremely dense. So one little square like this is 110 calories. And then you could add like vegetables. You could eat this much and it's only like 20 calories. So just keep in mind, be very careful with that. Now your body for fuel is going to have 2 preferred fuel sources. Obviously it can do other things with different types of situations. But carbs are preferred because it's fast, it's glycogen. That sugar is going to shock your body and go right into it. But its other preferred fuel source is fat. Okay? So understanding with anything that you do, whether it's bodybuilding, dieting, gaining weight, bulking, cutting, fitness, shutting down, whatever. I don't care what you're doing. You have to have one preferred fuel source over the other. If you have high carbs, high fat, you're just going to get overweight. If you have high carbs, low fat, you can definitely see something. But for those of us that are very reluctant, our bodies are very resilient to carbohydrates. The high fat, low carbohydrates seem to be much more effective. Hence why people do Atkins or why they do keto, because our bodies are turning that glycogen immediately into being stored as fat. So if you remove the carbohydrates to a certain point, obviously you need some for proper brain function and blah, 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 blah. And that's debatable. You can say whatever you want. Listen to your doctors. Um, if you eliminate the carbs, I'm only yawning because I'm talking so much. I'm not actually tired. It's early in the morning. If you eliminate the carbohydrates, your body has only one choice but to use fat for fuel. But you're in a caloric sweet spot, so eventually your body's going to start burning fat once it runs out of fat for the day. But you can't just expect it to starve and then just burn tons of fat. So you have to make sure you find the sweet spot. That's where BMR and different things come in handy. Or you can contact me and I can help you draw up a meal plan and help you, meaning yes, I'll charge you. I do 4 weeks for $45, 8 weeks for $80, and 16 weeks for $135. Now, ketosis. The next thing is ketosis. You're actually going to go into a state of ketosis where your body starts burning fat as fuel. Or your body is releasing these little ketone bodies, and you begin to basically you pee on these little sticks, these little guys, and you find out if you have ketone bodies in your urine. And then people that are watching this video are going to say, well, the ketosis sticks are not that effective, blah, 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 blah. You'll get false positive, false negatives. The best time to do it is when a fasted state, right when you wake up. But that's debatable. I feel like if the majority of your ketone sticks are really good, it's a really good way of understanding, at least getting a hold on what you're doing for the first month or so. I have used solely nothing but these, and I've gotten good results with it. So take it as you wish. You can get a blood meter, but to me, it's a huge waste of money. I've talked about them in the past. The only reason I did not continue with them is because the actual like testing sticks were insane. They were like $9 a piece, and I'm like, no. This is Walmart's in the diabetic section. It is literally $6 for 50 sticks. And if you're really, really cheap or on a budget, you can cut them straight down the center and use 2 at once. 3 to 5 days, you should go into ketosis. Do not buy exogenous ketones. It's not dietary ketosis. It's not nutritional ketosis. It's BS, and you're just buying other crap for no reason. Okay, don't get sucked into the whole bull that, oh, this is going to help you go into. Yes, it's going to put ketone bodies inside your system, but it's not nutritional ketosis. So you can't put something inside your body and like, that's like saying it's just completely dumb. Okay, it is dumb. Don't spend your money on that crap. It's just one more marketing scam because, and you be careful because all these things are hitting the market. Keto this, Atkins, blah, 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 blah. Nothing against it, okay? But remember, the more you put in your body, the more your body has to burn before it burns fat. So stop buying junk and work on whole foods. Straight up. I mean, that's what your body needs. Next thing, number 7. We're trying to finish it up. I'm sorry. I know this is a lot to consume. Number 7 is water. Now, I don't know if I'm using the proper words here, but as you begin to drink a gallon of water per day, I'm going to drink coffee. I am yawning so much. When I go from sitting here and doing my whatever it is I do. What do you do? I work. Okay, that's what I do. Drinking coffee. That's what I do. I drink coffee. When I go from that and being quiet and then blah, 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 really starts to wear on my oxygen levels. Now, By the way, I have successfully used this creamer and stayed in ketosis, no problem. That's sugar-free French vanilla. But it's got calories in it, so make sure you pay attention to that. Okay, that coffee's definitely cold. That's great. Water. Drink a gallon a day, or at least do your best to do so. You should be peeing probably every 20, 30 minutes. It's going to be annoying, I know. But here's what's important about that. And drink cold water. It helps you burn more calories because it has to heat up to 90 degrees inside your body. Fun fact. Um, the reason that water is so important is because when you're eating a carbohydrate diet, like the normal, whatever, 45, 65% of carbohydrates, nobody's going by that. If you're going by that, you're probably a hell of a lot better at nutrition, and you're probably not watching this video. So if you are eating a normal American diet, chances are you have lots of carbohydrates, whether it's through like bread, tortillas, whatever, just random stuff, chips, then you are going to hold 2.9 grams of water per gram of carbohydrates. So you have plenty of water inside your system. Unfortunately, when you start eliminating carbohydrates, it becomes naturally you don't hold as much water. You become less bloated and the water just shoots through you. Now, why that's important to keep up your water is rolling into number 8 is because your electrolytes are going to become completely imbalanced. Not for everybody, but it's important to take a daily vitamin that has magnesium, potassium, and also make sure that you're getting plenty of sodium. I'll put a link like to the test strips. I'll put a link to vitamins. I'll put a link to you can even go as far as to like use creatine because that's going to help you hold water. I'll put a link to creatine. It's also going to help you build strength, and we'll talk about exercise in a minute. But branched chain amino acids, I'll put a link in the description below. So many freaking links, I know. And I'm not trying to sell you stuff. I'm trying to explain to you electrolytes are extremely important. You'll get foggy. You'll get headaches. A good way of telling, by the way, when you go through ketosis, you get the keto flu. Some people do, some people don't. Usually a way to combat that is like pickle juice. Another way is like chicken broth. You could just put some salt in your hand and lick it. That really helps a lot of people that I've worked with. All kinds of different ways. So if that happens, you know you need to kick up your salt a little bit. Not go crazy, but you definitely should probably salt all your food because if you go from eating all the regular American diet to all whole foods, chances are you're probably eating a hell of a lot less salt. In addition to that, you're drinking a lot of water, flushing out your system because you're not holding on to water. So it's really important that you make sure you keep your sodium levels up. So that being said, the branched chain amino acids that I put, not only are they important for like muscle function and building blocks of muscle, repair, strength, all of those things, but or preserving muscle or anything like that, especially if you're working out. But more importantly, it has the sodium, magnesium, and potassium, the electrolytes that you want. Plus, I mean, the one I got right now I think is blood orange, and they have stuff like kiwi strawberry. It tastes like basically Kool-Aid with no sugar. So, and there's no carbohydrates, there's no calories, nothing. So, but again, don't go too far because the artificial sweeteners could potentially, or the branched chain amino acids, in too high levels, especially with people that are insulin resistant or people that have insulin sensitivity, then you could actually find yourself having like an insulin-like response, and the branched chain amino acids could shuttle fat storage. So you got to be really careful with that. That being said, just make sure you are getting plenty of electrolytes, whether it's through your foods or vitamin supplementation or something like that. So the next thing is exercise. This is a really common question. People say, well, I'm losing weight. I don't give a damn about exercise. Generally speaking, people that are trying to lose weight are usually not so focused. Now, this is a general statement. Not so much focused on building muscle. It's like today, right here, is weight loss. Over there, they're still thinking out in the clouds of I want to build muscle and stuff like that when I get there. Now, here's a couple things. I want to talk about two things specifically: metabolic rate and the idea of skin. Okay? Metabolic rate is basically how much an organism can burn, sufficiently calories and stuff like that. But if you want to increase your metabolic rate, you lift heavy stuff, you build muscle, you drink lots of cold water, you eat positive health choices and stuff like that. But the important thing is the more muscle you have inside your body, the better you're going to be at burning fat. So doesn't it just seem like it would make more sense if you were actually focused on building muscle while burning fat to aid burning fat? To me, it's like a no-brainer. I worked out through my entire process, and I'm really glad I did, because I do have sagging skin, but not horrible, okay? It's like I had a baby pouch on my stomach, and then I have some stretch marks on my love handles, and that's where I tend to hold weight, unfortunately. And then I have stretch marks kind of right in through here, and then some under my arms and stuff like that. I hide them really well, I'll be completely honest, but they're there, and it's nothing to be ashamed of. It is, however, inevitable. If you have stretch marks and you've grown proportionately larger than yourself, it will be an issue later. Now, I am venturing to say if you are going to put an emphasis ever on trying to build muscle, tone up, or anything, do it along the process. Not only for the fact that the major fact is if you have giant voids of your skin, then you will have more sagging skin if you don't fill those voids with muscle. Okay? So you might think, well, I don't want to be big and bulky. I want to be thin. Okay, but here's the thing. You stretched out your shell. Okay, your shell is really stretched out. So yes, I understand you want to be thin, but if you want to look as good as you possibly can, I recommend 100,000,000% that you make sure that you exercise and put some damn muscle on your frame underneath that skin, because you're going to feel a hell of a lot better if you've got some muscle under there, okay? And I mean, it just makes sense. You want to be strong. You want to be able to make sure that you stay muscular over time. You don't want to lose weight and be out of shape, because that's a thing. You don't want to be skinny fat, okay? You want to be thin, but you also want to be healthy. You want to have the ability to, oh, I tripped, caught myself, and be able to not break a hip or something, knock on wood. So make sure that you stay healthy. But for the other fact, you also have to make sure that you understand that I lost my train of thought. We'll go back into that. The void of skin, okay, doesn't matter. We'll skip to the next thing. Macros, understanding macros. Okay, so this is highly debatable what you want to do. So I'd say 70 to 75% is going to come from fat. 20 to 25% is going to come from protein. And then about 5% is going to come from carbs. Okay? Now, understanding that, I did make a video. If you look at my YouTube channel, there's a video understanding macros or how to build a meal plan for Atkins or keto or whatever, and I explained all that stuff. I'm not going to do it again. But understanding the basics of macronutrients is a pain in the freaking butt. I'm not going to lie. It's something that I will forever be indebted to and constantly relearning. It's a difficult one for me because math is not my strong subject, but I have made a dedication to be able to focus on it and always continue my learning in it. So, the very basic elements of macros are protein, 4 calories per gram. Fat is 9. Carbs are 4. So basically you have, let me make this a little bit simpler. Sorry, I'm trying this. It can be confusing. So you have calories in each gram of the macronutrients. Protein and carbs are 4 calories per gram. Fat is 9. And the fourth macronutrient, which is probably should not be on your meal plan, is alcohol, and it's 7. So you have to make sure you understand that, because if you were building a meal plan and you're like, okay, once you get to the point, and this is not going to happen right away, I promise you. Once you get to the, and it might, who knows, you might be really good at this, and it might be your thing, your jam. Once you get to the point and you're like, well, there's 100 calories, 100 grams of this, and 100 grams of this. If you have 100 grams of protein and 100 grams of fat, those are not equal calories. One's 400 calories and one is uh, 900 calories. So you have to like realize like these are two totally different things. So that's why when it takes contacting somebody like myself to say, hey, yo, I don't want to worry about this. Just tell me what the hell I got to eat. Here's $50 or whatever. So just keep that in mind. I hope this cleared out a bunch of stuff, you guys. I really wanted to make like a full, all-entailed informational video on exactly what it means as far as Atkins induction phase, because there's so much confusion going on around there. People become very discouraged or very overwhelmed with all the information that is like bouncing around the internet. People trying to sell you all these magic things and stuff that doesn't really work. Remember, whole foods are best. If you can stay away from like the sugary stuff and things like that, because it's a slippery slope, you don't want to fall into it. I would say for the first couple months, maybe stay outside of going to outside events, very minimum, maybe 2 to 3 weeks. Get a really good strong hold on what you're doing and then move forward. You guys, I hope you guys liked our video. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe to our channel. If you get a chance, go check us out on Facebook. Our group is called Healthy Living for Healthy Life. I will put those links in the description below. Have a beautiful day. Like I said, did I say that? Be stronger than your excuses. Remember to spread love, not hate. Drink your damn water. Stay on track. Hashtag Team Boo. Have a beautiful day. And good luck.